Shakti Samudra Samutta Tarangam Durshita Prema Brijimvitarangam Samshaya Rakshasa Nashamahastram Yami Gurum Sharanam Bhava Vaidyam Naradeva Deva Jaya Jaya Naradeva Advayo Tattva Samahita Chittam Prajjala Bhakti Pachabrita Vrittam Karma Kali Varamadbhuta Jestam Yami Gurum Sharanam Bhava Vaidyam Naradeva Deva Jaya Jaya Naradeva. It is a hymn on Sri Ramakrishna by Swami Vivekananda. O Lord incarnate, O Lord divine, glory unto Thee. I take refuge in Thee, the Divine Master, who art like a wave arising out of the ocean of cosmic energy, who incantest Thy manifold divine play out of love divine infinite, who art the destroyer of the demon of doubt, who art the divine healer of the disease of worldliness. O Lord incarnate, O Lord divine, glory unto Thee. I take refuge in Thee, who art established in the knowledge of the One without a second, whose life is wrapped in the luminous garment of devotion, whose body is ever active in doing good to mankind, whose deeds are wonderful, who art the divine healer of the disease of worldliness. O Lord incarnate, O Lord divine, glory unto Thee. This hymn depicts Swamiji's understanding and evaluation of his Guru. Before he met Sri Ramakrishna, he was a Brahma. He did not believe in God with form. He did not believe in Guru. He did not believe in non-duality, Advaitavada. He did not believe the theory of reincarnation. He did not believe the basic things of Hinduism. How, by the grace and influence of Sri Ramakrishna, his life was changed. Sri Ramakrishna did not want that his main disciple should be one-sided. He should be inclusive. Dvaita, Vishishtadvaita, Advaita, all paths, all doctrines represent the same truth. That experience Swamiji got from Sri Ramakrishna. It is very poetic. Shakti Samudra, Samutta Tarangam. This ocean of Shakti, power of Brahman. This cosmic energy is rising and falling. So Sri Ramakrishna is God incarnate. So all Shakti manifested in him. Another word Swamiji used, I sometimes use that word also. Samshaya Rakshasa Nasha Mahastram. Oh, Master, you are born in this age to destroy the greatest demon one can think of. That is doubt. Doubt. We have so much doubt about God, about existence, about so many things. When you read the Gospel of Ramakrishna or Sri Ramakrishna's divine play, we feel Sri Ramakrishna's life and teachings vindicate God exists and one can see God. Doubt, the dispeller of doubt in this age was Sri Ramakrishna. Advaya Tattva Samahita Chitta. Master, your mind was always absorbed in that non-dual Brahman. Oneness, unity. That is the goal of Vedanta philosophy. Nidvikalpa Samadhi, oneness. At the same time, you were blended with luminous devotion. At the same time, you worked. So Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and Karma Yoga, and Raja Yoga, all yogas manifested in you. And if we want to get rid of the worldly disease, you are that person who can remove it. It is a beautiful prayer. So let us meditate on Sri Ramakrishna and pray to him to illumine our hearts. Om. Sahana Vabhutu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahabiriyam Karavabhaye Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishabhaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May Brahman protect us, may he guide us, may he give us strength and right understanding. May love and harmony be with us all. Om. Peace, peace, peace be unto all. Panchadasi, chapter 6, verse 15. Panchadasi is a very interesting Vedanta literature. Pancha means 5, Doshi means 10. Means 15 chapters are there. Brahman is Sat Chit Ananda. Existence, consciousness, bliss. In 5 chapters, the first 5 chapters, Vidyaranya Muni, the author of this book, described the existence aspect of Brahman. From 6 to 10, he will tell us about the consciousness of Brahman. And next 5 chapters, from 11 to 15, he will tell us the bliss aspect of Brahman. That is called Panchadasi. So we are now starting the 6th chapter, Chitradipa. The light, consciousness. In the analogy of the picture, with the analogy of the picture. So we talked about adhas. Before I begin this subject, I shall first clarify to you this adhas. Superimposition. This adhas is the cause of all problem. Brahman is covered with Maya. My Atman is covered with ignorance. And we have different knowledge. The thing which does not exist, we think that exists. Brahm, mistake, delusion, confusion, illusion. The example, I see something from a distance. It is a rope, but I think that is a snake. Snake is not there. But my mind says that it is a snake. It is a snake. That is called adhas. Snake has been superimposed on the rope. I see on the sea coast something glittering. It is the mother of pearl. But I am thinking that is silver. So silver has been superimposed on the mother of pearl. Adhas. Truly I am Brahman, but I superimposed on me this body, this mind, monk, all these things I superimposed. In the beginning, Vidyaranya Muni mentioned, you were a painter. When you paint the mountain, ocean, the trees, you do not put any clothing there. But when you paint a human being, you put dress, ornaments, makeup, all these things you superimposed on that human body. Human. That is jiva. We put something extra. Why is this superimposition? Why do I not have my true knowledge? Ignorance, avidya. Adhyash, tadatma adhyash. Mixed up. This Atman falls on the Buddhi, and Buddhi also falls on the Atman. How? Here is the sun. It reflects on the mirror. They focus each other. That is called abhash. Reflection. Do you know what he wants to tell us? We are all reflected gods. Reflected. That Atman reflects on each one of our intellects, antakarana, and make it luminous. And comes individuality. This individuality, I, consciousness, and here is the cosmic consciousness. These two are mixed up. But what is the problem? If there is a mixed up, do you know what have problem? I am the Atman, birthless, deathless, immortal, but I am thinking I am mortal, I have disease, I have mental problem, physical problems. All these things I am thinking. These are the things of the buddhi, mind, individual beings, jivas, I superimposed on the Atman. And Atman is also superimposed on this. It becomes conscious. Otherwise it cannot function. Mind, intellect, body, senses, nothing can function without that consciousness. We are dead. So this consciousness falls on the buddhi, and buddhi falls on the Atman. That is our problem. Subject and object. We are the eternal subject, Atman. But it is mixed up with the object. Mixed up. Satta nrite mithuni. Truth and untruth are blended. That is the way this world functions. If we do not have ignorance, we cannot function in this world. We will all go into samadhi. No work, no problem. Ignorance, ignorance. So, Vidyaranya Muni explained I am seeing this chair in front of me. Do you know what is happening? My consciousness and my buddhi, consciousness reflected on the buddhi, that buddhi went through the eyes and went to the chair. Buddhi says, this is the chair, because buddhi has the knowledge of chair previously. Otherwise it will not say it is a chair. It is a chair. So buddhi destroys the ignorance of the chair, but it is the Atman consciousness manifestation. Otherwise the knowledge will not come. Without light we cannot have of the knowledge of the object. That he was talking about, that how these things work. But Swami, what do you want to say? I want to say that we forgot ourselves. We do not know who we are. But I know I have my IG card, driver's license. I exactly know who am I. That is the wrong identification according to Vedanta. Real identification is, I am the Atman, I am Brahman. But I am thinking I am Chaitanya, I am a Swami, I am this, I am that. That is wrong IG. But wrong IG is necessary, otherwise you cannot travel, you cannot go to the bank, you cannot travel in the plane. In the airport, if we say I am the Atman, they will put me in jail. Adhash. The thing which is not that I am superimposing on it. I am the Atman, but I think I am a jiva, I am an individual self. How can I hypnotize myself? Through self-knowledge. That we are going to talk. We need self-knowledge. And we must know who is this Atman. That is our subject this night. I shall not read too much Sanskrit. 50. The opposite of the other is the self, which is the same as the kutastha. The opposite of you, however, is I, which is the egoism, and jiva, which is superimposed and kutastha. Chidabhash. There are two conceptions of the self, one of the immutable self, Atman, the kutastha, and the other of the acting self or egoity, the jiva. Kutastha. Kutastha means pure consciousness, which is free from ignorance. And this individual consciousness, which has ignorance mixed up. One is unadulterated and this one is adulterated. Jivatma, Paramatma. Paramatma is pure consciousness. Jivatma is individual consciousness, not pure. Reflected consciousness, not genuine. Let me give another example. You are a candle light, you are the blazing sun, you are worshipping, you are waving that light to the sun. Oh sun, I worship you, I worship you. Sun smiles. I am illumining the whole world and this poor fellow is trying to illumine with the oil lamp. So we have a little oil lamp, a little light. With that light, we are trying to understand the cosmic This individual light and that cosmic light as light, both are the different, but we do not have that knowledge. This jar space and this cosmic space as a space, both are the same. Break the jar. It is one with consciousness, one with the space. That is happening. So what shall we break ourselves? Break the ego. That ego, I, consciousness, is limiting the cosmic consciousness. That Sri Ramakrishna says, Ami mole ghusibe janjal. All problems will cease when this I dies. It is all I. We are limiting that infinity through this ego. As the distinction between silver and this is clear, so also the difference between I and self. But the people in the grip of delusion identify I with the immutable self. I see silver on the mother of pearl. This is silver. This means something seen. Silver means this shell wrongly understood. I see something. That the superimposition causing the identity of I and self is caused by nescience, ignorance, has already been treated. When this nescience is negated, its effect is also terminated. Tadatpadhyasa. That we discussed in between verse 19 and 34, how these two things are mixed up. I see the dazzling silver, actually it is the sun reflecting on the mother of pearl or the shell, seashell, mixed up. I have a greed for silver, so I see silver there. Adhash. It is anadi, without beginning. Avidya avriti tadatni vidyaiva vinashata. Vikshipaisya sarupastu prarabdham prarabdhakshayam ikshati. 53. The veiling of the real nature of the self and the identity, superimposition, are caused by nescience, and that are destroyed when nescience is negated. But so long as the fructifying karma continues, the mind and body, the effects of illusory projection of nescience continue. As I told you, nescience, ignorance, maya has two powers. Concealing power, veiling power, and projecting power. What does it do? Maya first covers the Atman, veils. The moment it is covered, projection begins. Mula Vidya, the original Maya, covers my mind, my intellect. It was pure consciousness, Atman, I am the Atman, but it covered it and projection begins. I am a man, I am this person, I am a Swami, my name, all these projections come. Upadhi means adjunct. So all these things we superimpose. Very few people think about it. I remember in our Vedanta class, our teacher was telling us, You are covered with 5 blankets. First blanket is very thin. Second blanket is a little thicker, 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 thickest. Anandamaya kosha, blissful sheath, intellectual sheath, mental sheath, vital sheath, physical sheath. These 5 sheaths covered the Atman. So what you are supposed to do? You remove the sheaths when you sit for meditation. I am neither the body, nor the mind, nor the senses. Siddhananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am that existence absolute, knowledge absolute, bliss absolute. This is the way we superimpose, we hypnotize you ourselves. Very difficult, but that is the truth. Prarabdha. Another question arose here. The veiling of the real nature of the self and the identity superimposition are caused by nations, and they are destroyed when nations is negated. Negated, that is the word Upanishad also used. Sa esha neti neti atma. Agrijyo nahi grijyati. Asanga nahi sajjati. Asito na vyatati. Narishyati. Ei atma, not this, not this, not this. Agrijyo nahi grijyati. You cannot grasp it. Atman is never an object. It has no name, no form, pure consciousness. Holding the horn of a cow, you say this is the cow. Atman cannot be indicated that way. Asango, it is unattached. Ashirjo, it never decays. Ashirjo nahi shirjati. Asango nahi sajjati. Asito, na byatate, na rishvati. It never gets pain or suffering. That is our true nature, the Atman. Never an object. You know, Swamiji told his disciple Sharachandra Chakravarti. The disciple asked Swamiji, how shall I meditate? Swamiji said, meditate on your own self. How? We meditate through our minds. Well, that is true. At that time, in final meditation, you will find the mind becomes the subject and the mind becomes the object. Mind is meditating on the mind. The pure mind, at that time, Sri Ramakrishna gave an example. If you throw a jar into the river, its inside is water, outside is water. Inside, outside, both are water. So when a person is in that condition, he sees inside, outside only God consciousness. Very interesting, this topic. 53. The earlier statement is here a little qualified. The material body, which is the result of avidya, combined with the operations of actions of former births, continues till the force of action is spent. There are 3 types of karma: agami, sanchita, prarabdha. Being made at present, the store of karma made in the past awaiting fructification, and the past and the part of karma which has already begun to fructify. With the dawn of knowledge, prarabdha remains, but the other 2 are burnt up. This does not go against the theory of causality, as no cause can operate in the presence upon obstacles and realization is such an obstacle. Some acharyas, however, doggedly stick to the idea of karma and hence say that liberation while in the body is not possible. But Acharya Shankara strongly supports Jivan Mukti, saying that even though the body is subject to karma, the man of knowledge is not, because of his self non-identification of the body and mind. Do you know what he is talking about? He is talking about Jivan Mukti. You are illumined, your all ignorance is gone, bas, what next? Still we see that you are still alive in this world, functioning, teaching. Why? Avidya leshat, Vedanta says, is little ignorance remains because of the prarabdha karma. What is prarabdha karma? Momentum action. Example, you are driving a car. From the top of the mountain, you are coming down, you turn off the engine. Only maneuvering the car, you are bringing the car from the mountain to the plain. Slowly, don't turn on the engine anymore, then a place will come, automatically your car will stop. Because it has no more gas, no more engine functioning in that car. That is called prarabdha. Car is moving, but no engine is on. That means after illumination, whatever residual karma is left, the body will continue for a time, and then it will drop. It will die. But he has no identification with the body. He knows I am the Atman. This stage is very, very important in Vedanta literature, Jivan Mukti. We experience freedom while living. And if you do not admit Jivan Mukti, do you know what happened? You will not get an illumined Guru. The moment you are illumined, if you die, who will teach? So these people try to keep a little ignorance. And Thakur says that Shankara and all these people, there are Vidyarami Rekhedai. Vidyarami, the knowledge eye. I shall do good to humanity. That desire keeps their body going, moving. Otherwise their body will fall. Very interesting, this aspect of Vedanta philosophy. Avidya vritti tadatmi vidyaiva vinashata. When your illumined ignorance goes away, then prarabdha, that momentum work, remains. There are three kinds of work, he says. Agami, sanchito, prarabdha. Agami means the karma which is coming but not yet started to bear the result, agami karma. Sanchita karma means accumulated action. Prarabdha karma means the action which has already started to bear the fruit. Let me give an example. There are 3 arrows in your quiver, in your back. One arrow you have already shot. You have no control over that arrow. Another arrow is on the quiver, and the next another arrow you are about to throw. So you have control of these 2 arrows, the one you are about to throw and the arrow which is at your back in the quiver. So these 2 arrows you have control. So these 2 arrows will be destroyed as soon as you are illumined. But the arrow which you have already shot, that karma will bring a result. That is called prarabdha. Upadane vinashtopi kshanam karyam pratikshate iti ahu starkika tadvat asmakam kinna sambhavet. The logicians hold that when the material cause of an object has been destroyed, its effect continues to appear for the next moment. Similarly, why cannot the body of a knower of truth persist for some time when its cause, the nations, has been destroyed? He is trying to raise some questions. Very interesting. Upadan. Here is a cloth. Set fire. All the fibers of the cloth are burned. But it shows it is there. The cloth is there. But it is all burned. So he was talking about that after illumination, অবিদ্যা বিনশীল বিক্ষেপের প্রারব্ধভোগের অবসানে অপেক্ষা করে কিছু বিক্ষেপের অধ্যাস মানে still that I consciousness is there, I is still functioning. So that also, that remains. These people are arguing with Vedanta, the logicians. Then they gave their own example. According to the logicians, the cloth keeps its form for the next second. The threads, its material cause that last for a few days, are destroyed. On the same reasoning, the body may persist for a proportionately long time when its cause, the ignorance of countless ages, is destroyed. The lingering moment should be proportionate to the cause. Moreover, another illustration of this theory is found in the revolutions of the wheel, which continued even after the cause is removed. Do you know what he's talking about? Did you see the potter's wheel? The wheel he rotates and it rotates. At that time he holds, he makes cups and plates from the clay. So this person, he rotated the wheel is automatically rotating. He is not rotating physically anymore, but the momentum is rotating. Just like you have seen the engine of the aeroplane, you see the pilot turn off the engine, but still that thing rotates. After a short time, quite a long time, and then it stops. That he is talking about, momentum. That means after illumination also this person is in this world. He is not supposed to be in this world. He should die. Doubt. The logicians have assumed the truth of this theory without any proof. We assume it on the ground of Shruti experience and reasoning. Why should it be improper? There is no use entering into a controversy with the unreasonable logicians. The fact is that the difference between jiva and kutastha is caused by illusion. Jiva, individual soul, kutastha, cosmic soul, pure consciousness. This individual consciousness and pure consciousness, these differences, it is all illusion. Actually, consciousness is one. That he wants to tell us. Consciousness cannot be divided. As the space cannot be divided. Though we say it is a room space, a library space, kitchen space, chapel space, room space. We are giving the names, but actually it is all nothing but a space. A space cannot be divided. People who consider themselves scholars and the hair-splitting logicians overlook the authority of the Veda and wonder due to their imperfect reasoning. Now Vedanta is answering the logicians, their view. Let me tell you one thing. There are 6 types of philosophy in India. The Nyaya, Mimamsa, Nyaya, Vaisheshika. Mimamsa, the ritualist. Nyaya is the logicians. Vaisheshika is the atomists. These 3 schools believe Atman exists, not conscious. Atman exists. Happiness, misery, those are the qualities of Atman, according to Nayayikas, logicians. According to Sankhya and Yoga, Atman exists and Atman conscious. They believe 2 aspects. So these 5 schools. Vedanta believes Atman exists, Atman is conscious, and Atman is full of bliss. Asat Chidananda, existence, consciousness, bliss, absolute, that is the Atman. That is the Vedantic view. Imperfect reasoning. Some others accept the authority of the Vedas, but owing to their inability to harmonize the meaning of the texts which have gone before with those that follow, they become confused. They take some isolated passages out of the context and quote them in support of their own views. Do you know what they are talking all these things right now? Vidyadhara Muni is trying to make the ground to tell you that how different schools look at the Atman. Atman, Atman, Atman. Their position appears plausible, but when carefully studied, it is seen to be without any real foundations. Kuchasa Atman is Nirvigar Shakshi, pure consciousness, witness consciousness, Shakshi Chaitanya, unaffected. But this Chidabhas, Jiva Chaitanya, we are connected with happiness and misery, pleasure and pain. So this one consciousness is subject to misery, another consciousness is free from misery. The consciousness which is connected with our ego is subject to misery. That he is talking about. Some others accept the authority of the Vedas, but owing to their inability to harmonize the meaning of the texts which have gone before with those that follow, they become confused. They take some isolated passages out of the context and quote them in support of their own views. Now, the real Atman begins. Look. I shall read one passage. This I shall discuss in my next class elaborately. So I shall stop there. But I shall read to make your mind ready to get the next lesson. The nature of the self. Now it has been established the identity between the Kutastha, meaning pure consciousness, and Chidabhasha, the immutable self and the changing I, is a product of nations. The men of the world and logicians alike are deluded because they disregard the declaration of Scripture and cling obstinately to their rational powers alone. Even some of those who have studied Scriptures are not able to overcome this delusion because they study Scripture to support their own preconceived notions and not to understand the purport of the Scripture. They pick up a word here and a word there and distort the intention of the sacred teaching. Lokayata means the materialists, and those who follow them uncritically declare that the self is the assemblage of factors beginning with kutastha and ending with the physical body. They reach this conclusion through the only means of valid knowledge they recognize, that is perception. To make their theory appear plausible, they cite also the scriptural passages where the doctrine that the self is the sheath of food is declared and where the episode of Virochana is related. Let me tell you a story. These people think this body, this body is the Atman. It is in the Upanishad. It happened, the gods and the demons heard that if you know the Atman, you will be the immortal. So they both went to Brahma, the creator. Both gods and demons came from Brahma, creator, their father, and said, we want to know the Atman, we want to be immortal. Brahma said, really? You want to know the Atman? Yes. Practice Brahmacharya 32 years in my house. 32 years. Meditate and practice spiritual disciplines. After 32 years, both came. At that time there was no mirror, so he brought a big container of water, a bowl, big bowl of water. Brahma told them, you see whatever reflection you see in that water, that is the Atman. So Virochana, the king of the demons, saw his face, 32 years, no shaving, big nails, face, eyes, hair, bushy. He saw his body. Jadeva Kshini Purishad, whatever see in your eyes, that is the Atman, you go. So he thought that body is the Atman. He went to his people, eat, drink and be merry. This body is the Atman. That is called Ashurik Upanishad, the demoniacal Upanishad. Most people in this world are all followers of Virochana. Body is the Atman. But Indra also left, thinking the body of the... Then he said, body dies. I want immortality. How can it be Atman? So he came back and said, Root, body is not the Atman. Brahma says, I am glad that you came back. Practice another 32 years. This time he realized mind is the Atman. Another 32 years. He understood Buddhi is the Atman. Another 5 years. So after 101 years, Indra, the king of gods, realized what Atman is. Well, Swami, if I practice 101 years, by that time I will be dead. I will be dead. That is called Virochana, that's the story, is related. Some of the Lokayitas are dissatisfied with this view. The physical outfit cannot be the self, for when the jiva deserts it, it is observed to perish. Hence the self must be different from flesh and bones. The senses which are different from the physical body constitute the self. This is evident from such worldly usage as I hear, I speak, etc. It cannot be said that the senses are non-intelligent and hence cannot be constitute the self. In scripture, we raise up this dispute of the senses. If the senses are non-intelligent, surely they could not dispute. So these people realized sense organs are the self. I see, I can hear. They're conscious. Then the next school says, no. Senses are, sometimes you are deaf and dumb, sometimes you are blind, but still you function. They realize the prana, the vital force, is the self. And they gave the scripture that the Srishta prana is the supreme being in the body. So they realize prana, vital energy, is the self. Then he said, no. Another school says mind. Mind is higher than the prana. He quoted the Taittiriya Upanishad, Tasmad Bantara Akasha Manomaya. Say, Manomaya, mind is the Atman. Then another Vijnanavadi Buddha case, no, mind cannot be the Atman. It is the Buddhi. Intellect is the Atman. Then Madhyamika school came and you will say, no, Buddhi, it's knowledge, it goes continually, it cannot be the Atman. Shunyam, void, nullity is the Atman. Void is Atman. There is the authority of the scripture says that the world was non-existent in the beginning. The entire universe is a myth and a fancy. It is a fabrication of nothing, a misreading of the real, that is Shunya. There cannot be no delusion without a locus. Nothing can come out of nothing. Hence the self, which is the witness of even nothing, must be admitted to be existent. Otherwise, there cannot even be a talk about nothing. So the logicians, Prabhakaras and Bhattas, hold that the final doctrine of the Veda is that there is Anandamaya, which is more fundamental than the sheath of Vijnana, and that it is the self. That is also not the self. Another school says consciousness and unconsciousness is the self. Example, firefly. Sometimes it is dark light. Consciousness, unconsciousness. Those things I shall discuss in my next class. And finally, it will tell you the Vedantic view. Aham Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Saitya Savabo Ananta Adhyam Satchida Anandam Ananta Adhyam Brahma. Aham, I, Nitya, eternal, Shuddha, pure, Buddha, awakened, Mukta, free, Saitya, eternal, Savabo, by nature. Ananta, I am infinite. Adhyam, non-dual. Ananda, full of bliss, Atma. That is the Vedantic definition of the Atman. We shall talk about it in our next class. So I just gave you the ideas what is Adhyasa, superimposition. Our Atman, our pure nature, our true nature is covered by ignorance, Maya, by 5 sheaths of the soul. And Tadatma Adhyas, the quality, the nature of the Atman falls on the Buddhi, and the nature of the Buddhi falls on the Atman. That is my tadatmadhyas. That happens because of ignorance. When ignorance goes away, we can see ourself, Atman, and we experience the Atman. Experience. Everybody experiences the Atman. But we'll have to experience the true Atman, pure self. All right, up to this tonight. Asato ma sadgamaya, tamaso ma jyotirgamaya, mrityorma amritam gamaya, abirabirma yedhi, rudra jatte dakshinamukam, tenamam payi nityam, om shanti shanti shanti. Lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness to light, lead us from death to immortality, light us through and through, and guide us evermore with thy loving presence. Peace, 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 Panchadasi. So we did it up to 59. Jai Ma.